Hey guys, I created a hot seat unlicensed version. It's open source of Blue Orange Games Wonder Woods. I call mine Thicket. I don't use any of their copyrighted material or trademarks, and I'd love some feedback on it. So, the UI is really rough right now, but I just got over implementing all the rules of the game and a game log. So we'll take a look at the different options here. So when you load the screen, here says game log. You can send me feedback to this email, and you just pick how many players you want to play with. The rules of the game are a little bit different depending on how many players, so we'll do 2. We'll just go through all of them. So the layout right now is I show each mushroom type here as the top 4 boards. It has the name, the quantity, and then it has the crates or baskets, if you will, and which player has taken that spot, and the number of baskets at that spot. And then down here we have the players, information about them, so what color the player is, how many mushrooms they have, how many crates they have available to spend, and if they've skipped their turn yet. And then down at the bottom we have sort of the action section. As you can see, the game log filled in a little bit. So the current turn, whose turn is right now, and what you're supposed to be doing. So right now we're picking mushrooms. So we also have information about the price of mushrooms, and we have information about what the price isn't. And as a 2-player game, you get 4 cards in your hand, and there's also 4 cards that get flipped automatically every round when it goes to the information sharing round. That's just for 2-player though, that part. So what we'll do here is peek at our cards. So I'll get my imaginary friend that I'm playing with to look away, and I'll peek here. And when my mouse moves off peek, or I let go of the mouse, it goes away. So these are my secrets, my secret hand, and I know a little bit about morels here, and a little bit about griots. So griots, it's not the lowest, not the highest, and morels are not in the mid-range. So what you can do here is buy mushrooms. You go pick mushrooms. I'll probably change the word on that. So I'm gonna go with let's see here. So I'll use my secret information, and I'll say, let's hope morels are 7. So here we see the quantity of morels went down by 1, and in the first position of crates, there's the blue player, which is me. Now it's the green player's turn, so I did my action. Now it's the green player's turn, and you see here the morels cost 2 crates now, because that's the next section to fill up. So let's take a peek at player 2's secrets. So player 2 knows morels are not 1, reels are not 5, and the other ones aren't 1. So let's say he goes for a parasol. So you see the parasol, now I 1, player's green. Okay, so it goes on like this, back and forth, different players, and as you can see, the log fills up that, oh, they use their crates, and let's see, I used 1 crate here and 2 here. So let's say I'm all done. I can click pass, and now it's green player's turn. Green player has 2 crates left, so he's going to buy 1 of each of these. Now, as you see, it's still a green player's turn because the blue player passed, and the blue player will keep passing automatically. That's just how it works. Okay, so now comes the knowledge swap phase, or information sharing. So what you can do here is you start off with 5 baskets, or 5 crates, and there's 2 extra ones you can get if you share your information cards. So each of these buttons here allows the order of your information, your secret information cards. So if I want to share, let's say, the second one, the grills is 1 point, not one worth 1. I'm going to click this, and up here in grills, you can see that the shared value 1 shows up here in the list, and that blue now has 6 crates. So green, maybe I don't want to share my information, so I'll just pass. So green has 5 crates, blue has 6 crates. Now there was some stuff going on here that sort of happens automatically, but the bonus mushroom phase. So if you have the most of a certain type of mushroom, you get bonus mushrooms. So there were bonus mushrooms handed out here. Now the crates are all cleared off the board. Another thing that happened was the deck automatically gave us some information. So bullets is not worth 3, which is showed up here. So maybe that's a good deal, because maybe it's 5 or it's going to be 5 or 7. So let's buy it. And so it goes back and forth. Who goes first? So green went first, and you can look in the logs to see that maybe this is the first one will be green, and it's green's turn to pick mushrooms. So the game goes on until 2 types of mushrooms are down to 0. So I'm just gonna buy some back and forth here. So we see 2 types of mushrooms are down to 0. If more than 2 are down to 0, that's fine. If it's down to 0 when you have the most, you don't get a bonus because there's nothing to give. If it's down to 0, you can't really spend your baskets on it either. So in the end here, we got more bonus mushrooms at the end of the turn. So it's the end of the game. We now see this value here. So shared value is one that it's not, and value is the one that it is. So it's quite a high board for value here. So 3 7s and 1 3. And this only shows up at the end of the game, so it's like the secret part of how much it's worth that you're trying to figure out. So blue has 53 points, so this shows up at the end, and green has 69 points. And there's a little information here, so it's the end of the game. The winner's green. And the mushroom count only applies if there's a tie in points. So whoever has the most mushrooms, if there's a tie in points, will win. And if the count and the points are a match, then they're both winners, and it'll show up that there's more than one winner. So here's the end text sort of shows the game is over, what all the mushrooms points are worth, what players, how much do they get, and who the winner is. And then you can start a new game. So that was a 2-player game, which had that automatic flipping of information. So let's take a look at 5-player. So the mushroom parts are the same, except the quantity is different. So the rules of the game state if you have 2 players, it's 8, 3, it's 10, 4, 12, and 5, it's 14 mushrooms on each mushroom field to pick. You start with the same amount of crates, it's just different colors now, so there's more players. And you also have only 2 information cards. So I'll have everyone look away, and I'll look at my information cards. Okay. So maybe these 2 are probably not good ones to invest in. So let's... And then now it's green's turn. And you see green has different information cards. And down here it says green's turn. And I'll just click back and forth and it'll cycle through the turns. It will pass automatically for you if you can't buy anything. This one here shows it passes automatically. So if you skip or and then here you see only 2 buttons to share the information. Maybe I'll share that this one's 3. So here it shows up in the log, purple, and purple now has 6 crates. 6 crates, everyone else has 5. And then after the information sharing happens, we go back to buying different mushrooms. Normally you would buy as many as you can, you wouldn't just pass. And if it's the end of the game, there is no information phase. So how are we looking here for mushroom count? Yeah, these 2 are down to 0. So as you see, it goes around, people keep buying until everyone passes. Okay, now it says it's the end of the game. And the winner is orange. It's 38 points. Now other players... so it says mushroom count 10. And other players might have more mushrooms. Like red has more mushrooms, but a smaller score. So less points. Because maybe the one he has lots of are not worth it very much. So it's worth 1. And this guy had one that's worth 5. He has a bunch that's worth 5. And then down at the bottom here, you'll see the score of all these. Yeah, and then you just start a new game. Thanks for watching. I'll look forward to your feedback and any updates.